Hey YouTube, today is a unboxing that I've actually been very excited about. I actually found this in a local Spear Halloween store. Today's unboxing, Trixie. So it looks like we have a pull-out tray here. So if we go ahead, tilt her down here, and this box has some weight to it as well. Sorry about the poor camera thing. I'm trying to hold my tripod and pull this out at the same time. But you know what? I'll pull it out and then I'll just show you what it comes with. So this is what you should see when you pull your Trixie tray out of her box. So I'm going to go ahead and start to show you what it comes with. So your Trixie has a bag of clothes, and it comes with the instructions and all that in the bag. It looks like here is her bag with the hand already attached, and something that people don't notice at first. There's a fork hook connector on the back of the bag to connect it to the mainframe. Over here, we have her adapter, one of her arms. We have her hand with her dagger. And then this here is her head, arm, like loosely, and then the mask and all that is attached. Let me get this little foam paper stuff off and I'll show you what she looks like. This is what she looks like. There's her mask that pops up, and if you look down in there, there's the LED to light up her head. Okay. And then this is also what you see. Here's the main jumping form. Here's some other things. Here's the base. This is just a bundled mess of stuff. I'll go ahead and cut the zip ties and get back to you when I have all of it out. So all that was zip tied in there was this bag of poles, this main jumping holding form, her control box and all of her motor stuff, this like pulley system which is already attached to the base, and this main pole, and then the base was zip tied in there. Alright, let me get the instructions out and we'll get to the setup. Alright, so to start your setup, you're going to get both B poles. You're going to bring the base over. I have her facing backwards right now, but that is to make it easier for you guys to see. Let me tilt you guys down there for a little bit. Alright, I can't tilt you guys anymore. You're going to get the B pole. You're going to get the open end of the pole. You're going to slip the B leg poles down in. Get the snap lock in. Snap lock. Snap lock is in. Okay. So, tilt you guys up there. Next, you're going to grab her control box. I'm trying to figure out which way it goes on. So it actually would go on this way. Kind of can't mess it up because the snap locks all only go one way each. And her control box and motor and all that is just one big piece. The foam cover off. Okay. Next, you're going to get this mechanism holding piece. Okay. Sorry, I'm new to this. I've never had a setup like this. Let me get the instructions for y'all, because I don't want to mess this up and you'll feel assembly here. So Okay. Sorry. The instructions are super complicated. And they don't read very well. So let me figure this out and I'll get back to you guys and I'll tell you how we do it. Okay, so what I did, the instructions are terrible with this. You have to put the snap lock on the short pole. You have to snap lock it in there, but the snap lock will the pole will be going down. The longer side will go down in. And then this is the jumping part. This will just naturally fall down. It's okay. Okay, let me get the instructions out. Okay. Sorry about the long pauses. I'm trying to read the instructions while doing this. Okay. So next up, you are going to get this metal pole that the string is attached to on the pulley system. Let me check to be sure it's that, and then you just connect it to that, I guess. That's how it says it is. Like I said, the instructions are terrible. Next, you're going to get your spring. Hold on. Hold on. I think I'll put this on backwards. Yes, I did. Okay. So one thing to note when putting this on, put the square pole on, you want to make sure that this hook right here is facing the back. If you do not do that, you're going to make sure that the hook is in the back, and then you're going to pull this up. This step is not that bad. You're going to get your spring. I will take the sticker off so it doesn't obstruct her movement. Okay. You're going to get your spring, and you will attach this here, and then up here, up under. I gotta get that. There we go. So the spring is attached to that hook right there, and to the hook right here on this mechanism, right here on the bottom of the pole. All right. And then you're going to get the small, thin, square metal base pole, and you're going to connect it down here. This is what will hold her burlap bag. Okay. Next, you're going to get this other thin square pole with the other thin thing here, the fork hook connector and Velcro on top. You are going to put it here, making sure that the fork hook connector goes outside. Make sure that that's how that is. Okay. Let me stand up because she's getting a little tall here. Hold on, YouTube. Let me lift my tripod. Okay, so next up, the instructions say to grab the bottom half of her skirt. I'm getting that out quick. She does come with what looks like 2 weight bags. I don't usually use that stuff. However, I might for this setup. This is her bottom half of her skirt. It's just this piece with the frayed end. And then what you're going to do, you're just going to feed it up over the main pole. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here. Alright. You're just going to feed her dress over. I'll do that quick. Hold on. So all I did was connect her skirt, and she actually has little holes that you can feed these little loops through. That'll keep the dress up. Okay? So next you're going to get the upper body with head and all of that. And then you're going to just snap lock it up here. Alright, let me go ahead and do that really quick for you. Sorry about the bright light. And like I said, you're going to put her up there. Snap lock goes on. And there's her snap lock. Okay? So you can't see it. I just snap locked her head right on there. And her arm just chills right there. That's the arm that's going to connect to the burlap bag hand. Next, you're going to put the black liner piece of clothes. This piece. I'll unravel it for you. It's this piece. It looks kind of like a vest. And what you're going to do is you're going to just feed that over. Hold on, let me figure out where. So all I did was put the little black overlayer on. If any of you have Trixie, or if any of you know anything about it, can anybody explain to me in the comments what this little hole is here on her black thing is? Is that supposed to be there? Is that not supposed to be there? Somebody please tell me, because I honestly am so confused about that. Alright, let me get the tripod up more for you. Alright, let me tilt it down a little bit so you can see. Next, you're going to get the other half of the dress, the main dress. This whole main dress assembly here. And you are going to feed this through over her mask and everything. You're going to feed it up over onto the black thing. Make sure you feed her arm, this loose arm, through the sleeve. I'll be back when that's done. I can't do that on camera. Sorry, guys. All I did was feed her dress over. I did not do anything else. I did feed her arm through here. And make sure you put this thing through this little hole in the dress. So that's to hold the burlap bag, as implied in the first half of the video. Alright. Next, you're going to get the arm that is not attached and the dagger hand. Now, instructions don't say this, whether you should attach this hand first before attaching the arm, but I'm going to, because it'll make my job easier. So all I did was attach the arm, or the hand, to the arm, and then you're going to feed the arm through the sleeve. Make sure you unvelcro the Velcro on her sleeve. Okay. So now you need to go in the back, connect her arm with the fork hook connector. I'll do that, but I'll be right back. So I just attached the arm with the dagger hand thing. So next on the instructions, let me check to make sure there's nothing to attach. Yes. Okay. So apparently in the adapter box, I think it is, there should be some cotter pins. There is. Okay. These are cotter pins. These like weird oval circular shaped pins. You're going to use one and connect her dagger hand to the main frame. Also in the adapter box is the adapter, obviously. It's I think it's a 6-volt. Yeah, it's a 6-volt 2-amp. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the cotter pin. It's really hard to access in there. I'll show you what I did then in the back. I know it's hard to see. All I did was connect the arm with the fork hook connector and then connect the little cotter pin onto the arm so that it doesn't come off when she jumps up. That's all I did. You're almost done with your setup, guys. Next, you're going to grab the bag, hand, and all that stuff attached. You're going to come down to here. Let me angle it for you. And that fork hook connector we put on there a little bit ago, you're going to connect this fork hook connector on the bag to the fork hook connector down here. Let me make sure that goes on there for you. Okay. Let me check to make sure that I don't need a cotter pin or something. I don't. Okay. You don't need a cotter pin for this. And then the Velcro on the pole will just Velcro to the burlap. And then you're going to grab her hand, her arm the arm that was attached to her shoulder frame originally. And you're going to get this hook and loop fastener. Feed the arm through a little bit. Connect the hook and loop fastener, sorry. And then you're just going to Velcro her sleeves right back up. Adjust it to make sure you don't really see little to any of the Velcro or the pole. And then you gotta actually do the Velcro on her other sleeve too. I just forgot to do that. Let me do that quick. Okay, your Trixie is almost done. Last part of the setup is to go in the back, connect the IR sensor, all the wires and all that to connect the adapter. So let's go back to the control box and see what we see. Alright, so her control box is actually down here. That's what this little slit is for down here. You will connect all the wires. They just go color corded, dude. This stuff is not rocket science, folks. I'm just gonna connect it. It's gray. The gray wires are for the gray wire, and the red wire feeds up to the head. Double check, make sure your wires won't be all tangled. Right. And then the IR sensor is the green and white wire. I'm feeding it down through the dress. I'm grabbing it through the hole on the side of the dress. I know it's hard to see, folks. I'm sorry. You got to connect the IR sensor. Oh, turn it around, Daniel. The IR sensor, which connects to there. And then I'm going to attach the adapter first. Sorry. Because I don't know about you, but I think that adapters are way better than using a battery adapter or batteries or anything like that, because then you don't go through 5 million batteries, because these things take 4 AA usually. And I looked at the control box. You cannot put batteries directly into the control box, because they, for some reason, designed it that there was a pole in the way of the battery box, but you would need a battery adapter if you want to use batteries, which you can buy at Spear Halloween. But I'm going to use the adapter because I prefer to use the adapter. You're going to lift her hair up out of the way so it doesn't get velcroed in. And then you are going to velcro her dress in the back. Also, I know I just didn't say this in the beginning of the video. If I do sound a little sick, I do apologize. I am getting over a cold right now. So, this is what your Trixie should look like. Set up. The bag and all that. So, let me go ahead, plug her in quick. Just a second. So, as soon as you plug Trixie in, she will start to retract. Let me do a demo of her first, off camera, just to make sure I built everything right. And I'll be back with you guys. Alright, YouTube, I did. There she is. Sorry.
Now I'm really.
I'll put the mic up close to her so you can hear her.
Oh, better now.
Alright, let's try that again.
My mommy and daddy told me not to go trick-or-treating tonight. They regretted that.
I'll jump her up and then leave her in that position.
Heard it was dangerous for kids to go trick-or-treating alone. But I'm not scared.
Okay. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me get my microphone for you. Alright, so that was Trixie. Her setup is definitely more on the difficult side, but I think she is actually worth it. She is $200. She is supposed to be an online only, but if you go to certain spirit stores, they might have her. I was lucky enough to go to my store and they had her. So, yeah, she's $200, plus there's the Spear Halloween 20% off coupons that you could use. It'll make her about almost $170, which is a lot better, I feel like. But anyways, that is all for today's video. That was Trixie for Spear Halloween 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to stay spooky. Peace.